Welcome to the night of thriller and crime, presented by Goldman's. Detective Radio brings to you an auditory world filled with mystery, mayhem, and masterful storytelling.
Listen to me, children, listen. When God takes people to heaven and leaves us only their cold, dead bodies, we carry flowers to their graves.
Mother.
Yes. God grant her rest. But when people die because they love dark ways better than light, then we do not remember them with gifts. We do not talk about them.
But, sir...
No, Arthur, not one word. We do not. There is a name that has already been spoken in this house for the last time. You're old enough, son, to know what I mean when I say that. As long as you and I live, that person is gone. Nothing of mine shall that person ever touch again.
It's not fair.
No, Violet, it's not. You hear me well, children. You heed me. Or you will go too.
Tonight on Detective Radio, we bring you another captivating episode from Our Lady Detective series, The Golden Slipper by Anna Katharine Green, introducing Violet Strange, a sharp and stylish socialite with a secret life as a detective. Follow her as she navigates the high society intrigue to solve a puzzling theft that could ruin a reputation and uncover hidden truths. Mystery and elegance await.
She's here. Where I thought you would be. Here. Look. I can't focus these properly. She's one of the three young ladies seated in the right-hand box nearest the proscenium.
That's not possible.
It's Miss Violet Strange. No other.
You can't mean to say it.
But I do.
Yon silly chit?
Your words, Mr. Driscoll.
I know her father. I know her fortune. You cannot make me believe she is one of your agents.
Nevertheless, I can promise you her aid. If you want it, that is.
Excuse me, may I? Sir, if you would be so good. Thank you.
Oh, Mr. Driscoll.
Miss Strange, good evening.
You're an opera lover. What do you think of her?
Of whom? Of the Carmen?
Of the new Michaela.
Good. I haven't especially noticed.
You say that now, but I can promise you, in a couple of years from now, that voice will be the talk of the world. What say you, Mrs. Pratt?
I do love her dress.
You wouldn't pay $1 to put it on your own back, though, would you? Now, dear Mr. Driscoll, you must promise me.
Whatever you ask, Miss Strange.
Take some special notice of Michaela this next act. That is a grand voice, such as only a great artist will ever have.
Well, could you interest her?
Oh, she chatted away amicably enough.
Yet you appear dissatisfied.
Well, yes, Cameron, I am. I sat right through 2 entire acts with your youthful marvel, and she spent the whole time hanging on a soprano's every note.
Is that the truth?
Miss Strange, allow me a hearing. You certainly can manage that, at least. It's my daughter.
Alicia?
As fine a girl as any in this auditorium.
You're requesting my services for her?
Slander is in the air, Miss Strange.
What has she done?
Nothing.
Then the affair is not serious, I'm sure.
Any day the slander may ripen into public accusation.
Of what, Mr. Driscoll?
Of theft. Theft on a grand scale.
Jewels.
How do you know?
Violet Strange in society is a very different person from Violet Strange in secret. The value of these jewels?
Inestimable.
Yet there is no hue and cry, no stop thief.
The items are always returned by somebody.
By you?
People say.
I do beg your pardon, Mr. Driscoll, but this moment is what I've been waiting for.
Oh, she is interested. Nothing will hold her back, I promise you.
Well, frankly, Cameron, I didn't see it in that light. You don't have another agent?
No. Equally frankly, no. You want a mystery solved. It's not a matter for the police. That is, not as yet.
Not ever, please God.
The case involves women and only women. And the women are not only young, but one and all of the highest society. Do you tell me it's a man's work?
But Miss Strange...
No, sex against sex, Driscoll. And, if possible, youth against youth.
It's just that it's hard to associate intellect with such a...
Successful debutante? That she is. And a girl of gifts, and extraordinarily well-placed for your purpose.
She's Peter Strange's daughter, Cameron. She has means enough for anything. Why consent to occupy herself with a detective agency?
That's her own mystery. You must ask her, not me.
So inexperienced, you would say?
So youthful, Miss Strange.
So evidently a member of what New Yorkers call society.
That doesn't trouble me.
Oh, good. My inexperience is not likely to last long, Mr. Driscoll. And my social pleasures are, I guess, more apt to add to my efficiency than to detract from it.
Then you recognize my need.
I do. And don't worry, this is my home. We can converse in perfect safety here. Think of it as a consultation. What you say will never go any further.
If the scandal should break out...
I could not do the work I do, Mr. Driscoll, if I felt it necessary to have any confidant. Tell me about your daughter. Make me believe in her innocence.
I'm not sure I can.
Oh, I have to believe. Now, my cases must be of interest to me. They must engage my powers without depressing my spirits. If not, I will not help you.
Well, then...
So, Alicia is innocent. Start from there.
They call themselves the Inseparables. 4 young ladies. They got themselves together 2 years ago. Now they lunch together, ride together, do everything together.
Oh, wait! Look at the line.
First, there's Miss Anna, daughter of Edwin Hewson, the railroad man.
Glorious material, my dear, but it would never suit me.
Miss Caroline West. Her name's been cited as a mate for old Holiday's son, no less.
Captain Adam? Oh, quite a catch.
It's Moira's style to a T, though. Oh, isn't it just? Moira, come and see this gown. Oh, that is just a darling dress.
Miss Moira, the Yates heiress. And finally of the 4, my own daughter, Alicia.
Let's go inside. Moira must try it on at once. No arguments.
I have seen these inseparables myself, often, following one another down the aisles of churches or through the mazes of the dance at society parties. They must be interesting to know.
Too interesting, perhaps. It's begun to be noticed that things are not safe where they are present.
Things, Mr. Driscoll?
Articles of value. Coincident with the Inseparables' presence, an item is found missing from the dressing room or from the table displays of wedding gifts.
But you say that each such article finds its way back to its owner.
In the course of time.
And in a manner as mysterious as its previous abstraction?
I do not fix it, if that is what you mean.
Oh, no. Give me an instance, if you will, by way of further enlightenment.
Very well. This is one. A theater party. 12 in number, of whom the Inseparables.
Oh, where is my handkerchief? Oh, I seem to have missed my handkerchief.
This Mrs. Barnum was, in point of fact, the girl's chaperone. The handkerchief in question, an almost priceless bit of lace. Lace. Well, it was priceless, so...
Are you certain you brought it with you?
Positive, Miss Driscoll.
Well, we must search as soon as the lights come back up.
Why not at once? Moira, we can't see, can we?
Oh, don't worry, Mrs. Barnum. Your handkerchief is sure to turn up.
Oh.
But, of course, it did not, despite a careful search.
A party of 12 is too big for a single box. Who was not there?
Only one of the inseparables. Miss Caroline West was in the adjoining box.
And her alibi is sound?
I don't like that police word, alibi, indeed.
But?
But it is, yes, a sound alibi. Mm-hmm. Mrs. Barnum, recalling certain rumors she had heard, she made note of which of the girls was with her when the lace went missing.
And how was it returned?
It reappeared in Mrs. Barnum's own drawing room among the cushions of a yellow satin couch. Yellow. A fortnight afterwards. The inseparables had just made their call.
Who occupied the couch?
Miss Hewson and Alicia.
The field appears to narrow.
There is another instance that seems to point even more embarrassingly towards my one culprit. Miss Yates's father completed a big deal some months ago, and she had an expensive present to buy. The inseparables went to Tiffany's.
In an imposing group, I understand.
You know this story?
Let me tell it to you.
I venture, Miss Yates, you may find something to your liking here.
Oh. Emerald! That is the exact color. May I try?
Certainly, with pleasure. This?
The very one?
Oh, why, Moira, that is just perfect. Take it to the light and show us.
I should like to try the cluster, the diamond there.
And I, the sapphire on platinum. Oh, that is too modern.
And after, perhaps this one?
Of course, Miss West.
The stock was examined, eagerly fingered by all, and Miss Yates presently chose herself a fine set emerald. She was leading her friends away.
Miss Yates. Miss Yates, may I ask a word?
Oh, what is it?
I missed one of the rings from the tray.
He is missing a ring. From the tray?
One of the three dignified faces thus addressed was observed to be paler than usual.
Alicia's, it would have been.
And this young lady held her hands in her muff and did not offer to take them out.
I am very sorry, ladies, but...
Very well. Charge it. Charge it at its full value. I buy both the rings.
And in a couple of weeks, the purloined item found its way back to Moira Yates's home.
Inside a box of violets with no attached name.
I see you believe it is your daughter, and people are beginning to say so.
I am hoping that you will say not. Of course I am. But one way or another, this madness...
You're right. But whose it is, well...
Miss Strange, 3 days from now, I open my house to some very notable people. The French ambassador and his wife are my guests of honor. I cannot forbid my own daughter, nor indeed her inseparable friends.
But you fear the event gives opportunity for an increase of the scandal.
Would not you in my position?
Then, should you be honored, Mr. Driscoll, if I consented to be a guest at your dinner party?
I should indeed.
Thank you. I accept.
I suppose I ought to mention your fee.
Oh, I don't talk of such things, Mr. Driscoll. You must speak with the gentleman who suggested this meeting.
Very well. Perhaps, Miss Strange, I could just ask one more thing.
What?
How did you come to learn of the incident at Tiffany's?
Is this the same tray?
This is the one, Puss.
Arthur, not here. You'll get yourself fired.
This is the correct tray, miss.
The ring bought by Moira Yates.
Well, she bought both of them.
Oh, you know what I mean.
It was a pretty good match for this one. And the other was much like this.
Pretty.
Will you charge it, miss?
I think not.
It would raise my commission. I know my help isn't great, but we'd be another step along the line.
That's an ingenious ruse. I spend Father's money to pay you commission to put toward our cause. I think it goes against the spirit, don't you?
It was just an idea, and you do like the ring.
Who would not?
Perhaps the lady that took it. Didn't she send it back to Miss Yates?
Oh, that's gossip.
You're working for old Driscoll, Violet, aren't you?
Fathers do get concerned with what their children do.
Don't I know it? I got another row last night.
Don't, Arthur, please.
No, it wasn't about you. Don't worry. Your name didn't even come up, let alone anyone else's. And he hasn't any idea of the true reason I need to work, Puss.
You don't need to work.
Well, you can't expect me to stand by while you spoil all your good times with police horrors. I won't have it. Not without doing something to help. It's completely unreasonable of you to deny me.
Unreasonable should be the strange family motto. But I am delighted to have you working for me, brother.
Good evening, Miss Strange.
Miss Driscoll, I can't tell you how elegant you're looking this evening. Not without insulting every other lady in the place, anyway.
Oh, well. What about you? You must let me have your dressmaker's telephone number. As for the sapphires...
Strange, so glad to see you. Allow me to escort you.
Thank you, Mr. Driscoll.
I shall see you later, Miss Strange.
Does she know why I'm here?
Of course not. You're an unexpected additional guest foisted upon her by a thoughtless parent. I won't even allow myself to question the motive or the wisdom of that temptation around your neck.
I couldn't eclipse Madame the Ambassadress's diamonds, but a jewel of consequence has to be put in harm's way. So out comes the family heirloom.
And if you lose it?
Well then, I will get it back. Somehow, mysteriously, as all the other things have been returned.
Why do I have such a sense of foreboding this evening?
Because you anticipate finding out the answer to your puzzle, and you fear it.
Well, I hope, Miss Strange, you'll have a more pleasant soirée than I fear.
Oh, I have every intention of so doing.
You know I can give you nothing, Alicia, but what you already possess in abundance. Love and money.
But you can give me your love. And that is more than abundance, Adam. Darling. Miss Strange!
I'm so sorry, Miss Driscoll. I seem to have missed my way back to the drawing room.
I'll bring you there. You know Captain Holliday, of course.
I had not meant to discover this scene.
No?
Truthfully. And I caught none of their conversation, Mr. Cameron, so you can put away that look, if you will.
Captain Adam Holliday and Alicia Driscoll, the accomplished daughter of the house, and under something of a shadow.
Many did whisper that, but if it were so, she wore that shadow as some women wear a crown.
You've rehearsed that. It sounds as though you admire the lady.
I found myself the observer of a beautiful picture of youth and love.
Now, go on.
No, I did.
A thief in love, then.
Oh, that was some display of diamond for a homely woman.
Yes, indeed. 3 hours after dinner, and the inseparables were all together in one room.
Yours, of course.
Mine.
I think I could suffer the diplomatic life if bijoux like that came with it.
What a mercenary way to be thinking about marriage.
Oh, it's only in fun. Don't we all have enough?
Miss Strange, if only you knew. You can never have enough.
I'm not dissatisfied, Miss West.
Well, why would you be? All eyes have been contemplating you and your sapphires all evening.
Would you like to try them?
Would I?
Please, be my guest.
Oh, me next, Moira, if that's all right.
That would be the trap baited, would it?
I was watching, of course, my pendant being duly admired and handled by all present.
And?
Whether dread or longing, I couldn't tell, but the cheeks of one were flushed, and those of the others pale.
Whose?
In good time, Mr. Cameron.
And did these really belong once to Queen Marie Antoinette?
Oh, that's the family legend, certainly. I'm told she quite lost her head over them.
Oh, they are exquisite, Miss Strange.
Shall I just put them back here?
What? Oh, yes, anywhere on the dresser. I'll pack them up in the morning. I'm too tired now.
Tell us their story, do, Miss Strange. It must be romantic in the extreme. Better, I'm sure, than anything in our lives.
Well, I don't know about that.
Are you really going to leave your jewels there?
Where's the harm?
Oh, right by that.
I can't sleep without a window open, Miss Hewson, especially not in this weather.
So, this warning came from Miss Anna Hewson.
Yes, the inseparable who had no previous alibi.
Apart from Miss Driscoll.
Exactly so. But I chose to ignore her concern. I have something of a thoughtless nature, clearly.
Obviously, you left the bait then where Miss Driscoll had laid it down.
Outside my window, there was a balcony.
Did you know if any of the other young ladies' rooms also gave onto that balcony?
Yes, all of them.
You were hoping the culprit's madness would be great enough.
Madness is like love, Mr. Cameron. It knows no law. I felt certain that she would take the chance.
Again? Who?
Again. In good time.
Has any one of you seen Miss Strange this morning?
No, Mr. Driscoll.
Good morning, Father.
Oh, you're looking particularly beautiful, Alicia.
Isn't she, though? Oh, allow me.
No shadow from the night rests upon Alicia.
And what glorious roses.
Adam had them cut for me.
Oh, we're on those terms now, are we?
Well, sir, I thought a rose for a rose.
For a rose.
Neither of you lovebirds has seen Miss Strange yet this morning.
No, sir.
Lovebirds? Father.
I know how it is. You two see only each other. Well, I'm sure the errant Miss Strange will show up soon enough.
Oh, Mr. Driscoll, my pendant.
What has been going on in here?
My beautiful pendant.
It is gone. It's been taken. The sapphires Miss Strange was wearing last night.
They're gone. Somebody reached in from the balcony and took the pendant from my dresser in the night.
What?
We all told her not to leave it there, Mr. Driscoll.
Well, I did at least.
Of course, it is a jest. Just to frighten me as a warning not to be so stupid again, but I cannot make them give it me back.
Am I to believe this, ladies?
Miss Strange is hardly likely to be play-acting, Father.
No, sir, indeed not. Please, won't you tell them it's no joke?
Well, you can see this distress, all of you. The jest must end, here and now. I have to tell you I consider it a poor one. Miss Strange has learned not to ignore your good advice in the future. Now, produce the gems, whichever of you has borrowed them. One of you four did this? Which? If it was you, Alicia, speak. Don't go pale on me. You're mocking the roses young Holiday just gave you. And don't simply stare at me. I want to know whose hand abstracted these jewels. I want to know whose foot traversed the balcony last night.
It is easy enough, Mr. Driscoll, to tell that. The foot left this behind. I found it outside my window.
I fail to recognize it.
I hoped I should not have to exhibit it, sir.
Well, I am not going to play Prince Charming, and you are surely none of you Cinderellas. Who was wearing gold slippers last night? Miss Hewson? Miss Yates?
No. The slipper is mine.
Alicia.
Mine. But it was not I who walked in it down the balcony.
What story is this?
Believe me, Father.
How can I?
Oh, come now. I knew from the first you were all in it.
How do you make that?
You're not known for nothing as the inseparables. You go everywhere together. You hold all each other's confidences and you guard all each other's secrets.
Well, isn't that the normal way of friends?
It depends on the secrets. Am I right, Miss Strange?
I should hate for one of my own friends to point me out for doing something wrong. But you don't need to. Really, you don't.
Have you some special insight, then?
Well, I do have some awfully funny tricks, Miss Driscoll. I'm always being scolded for them, but somehow I just don't improve. And that's why the especial one of you ladies, who wore the slipper and who grabbed my pendant, she cannot hope to hide herself. Her fingertips will give her away.
Ridiculous.
One of my habits is to use a queer foreign paste to keep my jewelry bright. It's of a vivid red, and it stains my fingers dreadfully if I don't take enough care. You see? Not even the hottest water will take it off.
You used it last night?
Right after you left me. But being awfully sleepy, I never stopped to rub it properly from the sapphires. So...
Well, ladies, if your fingertips are not red, you never touched the pendant. Show me your hands, Alicia.
I'm not a child, Father.
Show me your hands.
White as milk. But someone has taken my sapphires, and I owe that person a scolding. Is it you, Miss Yates, or Miss Hewson, or Miss West? You who have your gloves on.
You do not need to see my hands.
I know, Miss West, you will be glad to remove your gloves.
Caroline! How you have deceived us, you sly boots.
I confess to taking the sapphires.
Of all the inseparables, you were the one absolutely immune from suspicion.
Why did you do it, Caroline?
Your alibi was established the night Mrs. Barnum's lace handkerchief was taken.
How do you know about that?
She's right. You were not in the same theatre box, Miss West.
Why have you done this thing, Caroline?
Miss Strange persists in treating it as a jest, Alicia. I don't see why you should take it as such a grave offense.
Then why did you come into my room to borrow my slippers last night?
Do you really want me to reply, or shall we just let it pass? Shall we keep the secret, Alicia, as usual?
You will answer, Miss West.
Very well. Yes, Mr. Driscoll. I wore your daughter's slippers. And I left one on purpose. Yes, I took your jewels, Miss Strange. Because it was time for an end.
And an end has come. You have been caught in a net.
Do you mean to say you can't see her fault?
Her fault? Alicia's? What fault, when you yourself have just admitted to this theft?
She is the thief, sir, not me.
How dare you attempt to escape by slandering my innocent daughter?
Innocent? If there is any innocence here in this room, it is not with her. Ask her what she has stolen from me. Go on.
You are raving.
I had a lover. She took him.
Caroline, you haven't done this.
None of this is true.
Oh, but it is. And the love that I once felt for her, she has herself deliberately killed it.
Caroline!
No, I had faith, Alicia. I had faith in life, in honor, yours and his, and in friendship. And you destroyed all. He and I... And you dared to aspire to him. A thief you are.
I will not listen to this, even from a guest in my house.
You with your craven restoration of the trinket things she stole. You thought the matter cleared. You thought she'd be a fit mate for a man of the highest honor. You condone everything she has done.
Miss West, before you say one word more calculated to mislead these ladies, my hand never has returned anyone's stolen goods, of which thefts you stand now self-convicted.
You think me guilty of all because of what I did last night?
Why shouldn't we?
You fools!
It is a somewhat logical assumption.
Alicia, face me. Who took the Dempsey Carls? The diamond from the Tiffany tray?
It is not necessary for Alicia to answer.
Then how about Lady Paget's scarf? I was not even there that night.
You are a woman of wiles.
Mrs. Barnum's $500 handkerchief when I was sitting in another box?
That could be managed by a woman who would plant her friend's slipper in so elaborate a scheme of revenge.
I remember now seeing you lean over the railing, Caroline, to adjust Mrs. Barnum's shawl.
You cannot believe that I am guilty of her sin. I have told you my provocation.
Mr. Driscoll, sir,
Adam.
Go away for a moment, Adam, will you? Please.
I can see I apologize, sir. Ladies, not the time. I'll take a walk.
Love is a rebellious bird that no one can tame. I was an observer at a strange scene.
The more so, presumably, since it was you who caused it.
Those two women faced unexpectedly with the man they both loved. I saw a shudder pass from Caroline West to Alicia Driscoll, and then the look between them, surveying each other, possibly for the first time with complete understanding. Open soul.
Caroline.
Alicia.
Caroline, trust me. My God, you have served me ill. But it was not all undeserved.
I was watching a heart breaking.
Girls, Father, neither Caroline nor myself are worthy of Adam Holliday's love. Caroline has told you of her fault. Mine is the worse.
Don't go on.
I must. The ring, the scarf, the diamond. I took them all. Even though I did return them all, I took them. And I took Adam.
Alicia.
You know how that curse has been over all my life. That longing I could never combat. The insane need for a woman who has everything to take yet more.
But we all believed you were getting better.
Oh, I too thought I was. Love was working a change in me. Adam's love. But my curse condemns me to have stolen even that. And from my dearest friend. That love must be all over now.
Captain Holliday may have another view.
No, Miss Strange. I was mad to think that I could be happy with such a madness in my life. I shall never marry.
Never?
Nor shall I touch jewels anymore. Not my own, not another's. Never again.
So it was you. All you.
Father! Father, you won't go back on your girl. Pardon me. I can't see Caroline suffer for what I have done. You must all pardon me. And help. Help me.
Oh. There, baby.
For an instant, not a soul in the room moved.
We are all inseparable, Alicia. You know we are. Now is our time to prove it.
You have your pendant, Miss Strange.
I do, but hardly, I fear, your gratitude.
Oh, I don't know. An hour ago, I could quite cheerfully have thrown you out of my house for doing what I'd asked you to do in the first place.
I'm sorry. I'm not responsible for what was done.
Simply for finding it out. Showing me the real Alicia.
I only revealed what you already knew.
I think I may come to prefer the truth.
And Captain Holliday?
He may come to feel the same when he gets over his disappointment.
It will be bitter.
It can be eased.
Then I do not quit in disgrace?
You depart, Miss Strange, with my thanks.
And this check, which arrived today.
Mr. Driscoll is a generous man.
And you are progressing, Miss Strange. We shall have to start giving you some cases commanding even higher fees.
I am not a poor girl, Mr. Cameron. I do not struggle for subsistence.
No, but you don't want for nothing, or you wouldn't be doing what you do.
I have a cause at heart, I admit that much.
One which does not appeal to your father.
You know more than you're letting on, Mr. Cameron.
I also am a detective, Miss Strange, and one with rather longer experience than you, I venture to boast. There is a certain soprano. Since she appeared on the scene, you have never missed her first nights. And she's a bit of a mystery, isn't she?
I was 9 years old when I lost her.
Was it not enough that you should refuse to marry the good man I picked for you?
I couldn't love him!
No child should ever have heard those voices.
You have disgraced me. You disgrace yourself. You stooped to the gutter to pick up this low-down scoundrel, this dago musician.
I love him.
You don't know what love means, girl.
I love him, and in the face of death itself, I shall go on saying I love him!
Very well, then. If that's how you must have it, you can be my daughter or you can be his whore.
I will be his wife!
And in the morning, she was gone.
Your sister.
More than that. She was Teresa, my elder by 10 years. She stood in my mother's stead to me for almost as long as I could remember.
Teresa has left us, children.
It must have been that very afternoon that Father came in where my brother Arthur and I were trying to play.
You are not to look out of the window for her, nor run to the door when the bell rings. She will never come back.
Has she gone like Mother?
No, Violet. Your mother lies in the cemetery where we sometimes carry the flowers. Teresa is not there, but you have to think of her as there, though she has no need of flowers. Listen to me, children. When God takes people to heaven, then we carry flowers to their graves. But when people die because they love dark ways better than light, then we do not remember them. We do not talk about them.
But, sir...
No, Arthur, not one word. Your sister's name has been spoken in this house for the last time. She is gone. And nothing of mine shall she ever touch again.
Every picture of her was destroyed. Her name cut from the leaves of books. The little tokens she had given us children were surreptitiously taken away. We began to realize we had indeed lost her. And then there was that terrible threat.
You hear me well, Arthur. You hear me, Violet. Heed me, or you will go too.
My life is turned by overheard conversations. I was 16 before another such recalled memories of that awful night. I was strolling through a picture gallery.
Isn't that Violet strange?
She'll never be the beauty her sister was.
Well, perhaps that's not to be deplored. Teresa made a great mess of it.
That's true. I hear that she and her senor have been seen lately here in town. In poverty, of course.
Well, that's no surprise, the poverty bit. He hadn't much go in him even as an ordinary singing master, let alone one for such airs.
You know, I never approved of Peter Strange's conduct at that time. He didn't handle her right. I do hope that one will be more tractable.
I never was tractable. In 5 minutes, I was changed from an irresponsible girl to a woman with a deliberate purpose in life, to find my sister.
That's the detective instinct coming out.
I hadn't up till then the least consciousness of possessing it. I heard she was working in a department store, and in my ignorance I looked first for the straight, slim, and exquisite woman I remembered.
You could never hope to spot her. You had to wait for her to recognize you.
The bargains I sought, the garments I tried on, the times I had my name spoken aloud at counters, till the day a woman turned and gave me one look.
Violet? Teresa? Teresa, is it really you? I have been searching for some...
Teresa, she has fainted. Someone, some smelling salts, some water. Here, help! There, my darling.
In the whole of New York, without help, you found her.
I did everything for her I shouldn't have done. The whole store thought me demented.
That's how discovery is, when you have the gift.
You are. Let me take you home, Teresa. Home? Your home. I have my limousine just
Your
on the
limousine.
street.
Father's limousine, you mean to say. No, Violet, nothing of his is ever to be used for me again. You've heard that said, I'm sure and certain.
Well, take a cab then.
And who will pay?
I will, of course.
It would be his money, Violet. I can afford my 5-cent streetcar fare, but a lady like you cannot ride the car.
So I took her to a restaurant for food and talk.
I will have a little bread and butter and some tea.
We can do better than that. And you need some feeding up.
Celebrate my last day at the store. Toast me in tea. Chin chin.
I have $100 in bills in my bag, Teresa. Eat, for goodness sake, if not for your own.
Your money is of very little use to me, I'm afraid, Violet.
Well, I will dare Father's displeasure.
I chose my course in life. I have to abide by it. I can touch nothing that comes directly or indirectly from the father who cast me out. Don't tempt me. It's more than I can bear.
What can I offer you then? What will you accept?
Your love.
God knows you have that.
It takes nothing from Father, and it goes some way to give me what my heart has yearned for. But no more, not another thing more.
You have his pride, his stubborn will.
So do you, little sister.
You're poor. Yes. And your husband, is he well?
He's dying.
My God, Teresa.
Oh, don't worry. He would not be helped by any money, even such as I could take.
You had everything. You threw it all away. And for a man who was going to die.
You don't know him. You don't know me. He is the golden net in which my youth was caught and which holds me to this very day. He is all I have ever had. My streetcar's due. Here.
And I went home to all the luxuries of our father's house.
Did you ever meet the man? The senor?
No.
It would have been an interesting study to see what he had, what handsomeness, what charm, talent could tempt a girl to throw up everything.
I don't know. Whatever it may have been, it was the greatest gift of the gods. For it got him a wife with but $10 in the world, but a smile as beautiful as an angel.
But he died.
She mourned him. They had a single room, high up in a poor, noisome court it was no pleasure to enter. And it was there, the greatest moment of my life. It startled me as never the world's greatest singers had done.
It was your Teresa.
She had to start anew. She had but to sing.
Her husband was a singing teacher.
Yes, and he had trained her with love. My sister had the voice and the soul of a prima donna. All it would take. A year with some great maestro in the foreign atmosphere of art. All it would take was money.
But not Teresa's $10. Not hundreds even, thousands.
And the one sure source to which we might rightfully look for such an amount was closed to us by his own bitter will.
Nothing that is mine shall she ever touch again.
So that is why you work for me, Miss Violet Strange.
Every cent I have earned has gone to her.
You know, Driscoll complained to me that when he met you at the opera last week, you gave him scant attention. She was on the stage, wasn't she?
She made her home debut that very night.
I guess I can't criticize you then for unprofessional conduct.
Nor her. From now on, Mr. Cameron, you are the only one outside our family to share our secret. Someday my father will know it too. I hope he can be like Mr. Driscoll and come to love his real daughter.
I think by then we shall have parted company. You will no longer be a detective, Miss Strange. You think you can live without that?
Oh, yes. And if ever I should find myself again hankering after a case, I will only need to listen to my sister sing.
Thank you for tuning into Detective Radio. We bring you new episodes of mystery, suspense, and thriller stories every week. To keep getting our updates, give us a like and subscribe and hit the notification bell. For those looking to lend a little extra support, follow the link in the description. Good night, stay alert. Until the next crime.